Reach into your pocket right now and pull out your phone. Inside that sleek glass sandwich is a tiny vibrating heart, a lithium-ion battery. And inside that battery, there's a pinch of a silver-gray mineral that's currently tearing the world apart. You've seen it in Renaissance paintings as a brilliant deep pigment. But today, this blue rock is the most critical asset in the 21st century energy war. This tiny mineral is the reason two superpowers, the US and China, are willing to risk everything. To understand why the world is fighting over cobalt, we first have to understand what it actually is. Despite being called a blue rock, in its raw form, cobalt is actually a lustrous silver-gray metal. Think of a battery like a crowded nightclub. Lithium ions are the partygoers, rushing from the anode to the cathode to release energy. Cobalt acts like the ultimate bouncer. It provides structural stability at the cathode, preventing the battery from overheating or catching fire. It allows for high energy density, meaning you can pack more range into a Tesla. This is the Democratic Republic of Congo, or the DRC. It is one of the poorest nations on Earth, yet it sits on the greatest geological jackpot in history. Nearly 70% of the world's cobalt is mined here. But here's the twist. While the rock is in the Congo, the keys to the vault are in Beijing. Starting in the early 2010s, China executed a masterstroke of economic foresight. They didn't just stop at the mines, they dominated the refining process. Even if you dig it up in Africa, it almost certainly travels to China to be turned into battery-grade chemicals. There are two Congos. There's the industrial mining, massive multi-billion-dollar operations, and then there's artisanal mining. This is a polite term for a brutal reality. Hundreds of thousands of creuseurs, independent miners, dig 60-foot tunnels with nothing but hand tools. They work in toxic conditions, breathing in cobalt dust, which is linked to hard metal lung disease. This is the blood diamond crisis of the green energy transition. We want to save the planet from carbon emissions, but we're doing it on the backs of people digging in the red dirt. The US has finally woken up. The Inflation Reduction Act, passed in 2022, is essentially a multi-billion-dollar break glass in case of emergency plan to build a battery supply chain that doesn't rely on China. This is where the chemistry gets fascinating. There's a race to build a cobalt-free battery. You might have heard of LFP batteries. They're cheaper and safer, but they're less energy dense. Welcome to the Clarion-Clipperton Zone. The seafloor is littered with trillions of polymetallic nodules, potato-sized rocks rich in manganese, nickel, and yes, cobalt. But deep-sea mining is a localized environmental nightmare. It's a choice between two evils, destroying a rainforest in the Congo or a pristine ecosystem at the bottom of the Pacific. We are moving from a world where we fight over liquid carbon to a world where we fight over solid minerals. The players have changed, but the game is the same. The blue rock is the new oil. We stand at a crossroads. We can continue the status quo, relying on a fragile, often exploitative supply chain, or we can innovate our way out, investing in recycling and transparency. The next time you see a zero-emission sticker on a car, remember that it started in a hole in the ground. The question isn't just whether we can build a green world, but who we are willing to leave behind. Because right now, the world is fighting over a blue rock, and the stakes couldn't be higher.